Hello and welcome to the Writecome.com podcast, where we help you to make money from your words. Each episode will be sharing tips, tricks, and strategies you can use to make more money from your writing, publishing, and marketing to your fans and audience. Let's get started with your host, Barry J. McDonald.
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode from Writecome.com. And today I want to ask you, who are you surrounded by? Now, the reason I'm asking that is Jim Rohn had made a statement at one of his seminars many, many years ago, and you probably have heard it before. But in the seminar, he had said that you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. Now, what he meant by that was if you probably took all the earnings from your friends, if they were willing to give over the figures, but if you took the earnings of your 5 closest friends and you done the average of the 5 wages, you would probably find out that you are earning the average of what they are earning. And if you maybe looked at their marriages, if they were married or whatever, you probably find yourself your marriage is probably the average of theirs, and where you're living right now is probably the average of, the type, maybe the value of the house where you are living right now is probably the average value of your friends' houses. Now, you can probably take that further. There's probably many, many things you can look at, and that you are the average of those 5 things. So why am I actually talking about that today? Well, I'm talking about that because if you want to stretch yourself, if you want to do something that you've never ever done before, there's probably a good chance if you look around your friends and your family and people who are close to you have never actually done that. Now, if you wanted to be a fiction writer, I assume, unless you are mixing in a completely different circle of friends that most people do, you probably aren't coming into contact with anybody who has ever wrote a book. You're probably never coming into contact with anybody who has ever had an online business. You probably don't come in contact with people who are blogging every day. I'm sure if you're like most of us, you probably are just mixing with average Joe or average Jane, and they don't have any of those ambitions, or they haven't actually become any of those things, even though maybe they have talked about them in the past. Oh, this is the year I'm going to be a blogger, or this is the year I'm going to write my book, or this is the year I'm going to be big on YouTube, whatever. They probably have talked about it, but they've never actually done it. So what I want you to be aware of right now at the moment is if you are looking to stretch yourself, the only way you can actually stretch yourself is probably to get into a different circle of friends. Now, that doesn't mean I want you to start not answering any phone calls from your best friends or whatever, or ditching everybody and just leaving everybody and running off to find a different circle of friends. But what I want you to be more aware of is, if you want to do something you've never ever done before, you're probably going to have to get into another group of people who are doing what it is that you are doing. So what will happen is when you mix in a different group of people, if they were all bloggers, if they were all writers, or if they had online business of their own, well, then your average would probably measure up to theirs then. So you would do is you would step up from where you were up to being the average of the new group that you are in. And unfortunately, a lot of us are surrounded by average people who don't have any ambition, who don't have any goals, who probably hate their jobs, are probably going from a 9-to-5 job from Monday to Friday, and they live for the weekend because that is their only chance of some freedom at all. Maybe they drink the weekend away, or they just spend it binging on Netflix or whatever. So unfortunately, as Randy Gage said before, the majority of people live quiet lives of desperation. They're probably depressed from Monday to Friday, and the only joy they have is at the weekends, or maybe a 2-week holiday where they go to some exotic place for a bit of sunshine or whatever, and those are the only times that they are happy in the year. So what I want you to do is be more aware of what surrounds you, and not only just the people that surrounds you, family and friends. Have a look at the media and everything that surrounds you. Even if you start paying attention to what is going on TV. When you switch on the TV, is there any advertisements? Is there any programs that want you to be, better than you are, that is trying to inspire you or motivate you? And unfortunately, the majority of content on the TV is disheartening. It's trying to bring you down, and it's trying to make you feel that the world is completely filled with evil. That every millionaire and every billionaire out there is trying to swindle the economy, and they're trying to rip off the environment, and people are being fleeced because of those. And you'll never find, probably many times you'll actually find a positive piece about somebody who has money, or you'll never find an advertisement on TV that's going to say to you, something, you can be a writer today, or you can be a blogger, or you can be this, or you can be that. The majority of even advertisements on TV, the highest aspirations that majority of those ads on TV or that you will buy beer this weekend, or that you will buy a chocolate bar that's going to make you nearly have an orgasm and that's going to completely turn your life around, or some stupid kind of commodity that is going to change your life. So what I want you to do is be aware of what surrounds you. What circles are you mixing in? Not just the family and friends, but also the media, radio shows, TV shows, movies. Is there anything motivating in there? Is there any of that content at all that's trying to build you up? Or is it simply trying to keep you where you are? Or is it trying to keep you, depress you, maybe, kind of curb your enthusiasm or your inspiration, and maybe just try and be mediocre or be average or be like everybody else? So what I want you to do today is keep in mind the people that you are coming in contact with. Are they people that are inspiring you, motivating you? Hopefully I will include me in that circle of people that are hoping you do stretch out of your comfort zone and take on new things. But have a look at the people that you're surrounding you. If you are looking to be a writer, if you are looking to be a blogger, if you are looking to create an online business, or whatever it is or you are looking to do, is the circle that surrounds you, is it supportive? Is it inspiring you? Do they want you to be successful? Because sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of friends and a lot of our families are subconsciously sabotaging us because they don't want us to get ahead. They don't want us to follow that dream. If you went to school and your best friend all of a sudden became a billionaire or a millionaire and had a huge business, and you grew up with that person and you shared your school days with them, college days or whatever, and you've seen them every day, and if a friend of yours actually did something like that, how would you actually look at your own life? Would you look at your life and say, something, it's amazing what that person's done. I could have done the same, but I never followed the dream. She had the courage to do it. And unfortunately, a lot of us, we're not really supported by our families and friends, because if we are successful, if we do break out of whatever bubble they have us in, it makes them kind of question their own lives. Why didn't they go after their own dreams? Why weren't they more courageous? Why didn't they try something out? And unfortunately, a lot of them will subconsciously or maybe consciously try and drag you down. So have a look at the people you are coming in contact with. And as I said, not just the people that surround you, but the media. If you find maybe that a lot of the media around you, TV, movies, radio, newspapers and all those different things, if they aren't building you up, well then there probably is a good chance of probably bringing you down. And maybe that is why you are thinking to yourself, well, how can I be a writer? Or how can somebody from the town that I live in, how can they have an online business? Or how can they do this and how can they do that? And maybe you question yourself because of all the content that's around you. So have a look, as I said, if you find maybe that your group isn't supportive, have a look and see, is there a different circle of people you can mix into? People who are succeeding, people who are publishing books, people who are writing, podcasting or whatever, and start listening to more of their content, because it will start making you kind of, open up that, that maybe that childhood dream you had of being a writer, or maybe it might open up that passion of yours maybe to create a YouTube channel or whatever. So be aware of what surrounds you, because unfortunately if it's not building you up, it's probably actually bringing you down. So as always, if you'd like to reach out to me, or if you'd like to find more about Writecom, you can do a search for Writecom. That's WRITECOME.com, and you'll find a lot of great content over there. If you are looking to stretch yourself, get into the writing or self-publishing game, you'll find a lot of content and courses over there if you want to head over there. Or if you'd like to reach out to me personally, if you'd like me to cover anything in a podcast episode, or if you have any comments or whatever, feel free to send an email to barryjmcdonald@gmail.com. And as always, thanks for sharing your time again today. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like more from the Writecom.com podcast, be sure to subscribe now for more tips, tricks, and ideas you can use to make more money from your words. See you in the next episode.